Today, I'm with Brendan. He's one of the co-founder of Watermarks Engraving. Brendan, can you tell us your story?
Sure. I have always been kind of a creative person, and I have worked a wood shop at home, and I just like to build things and create things. And I was down at a work trade show in Vegas last year, and I got kind of looped into going to a review of a company that was making laser engravers. So I went and did their tour and kind of looked at their equipment and saw the things that they could do, and it was awesome. The creativity that allowed me to have. And so I thought, well, that'll add a new layer to my creativity, because I'm always looking for ways to specialty cut wood, and the laser engraver just really used me the freedom to do that. So, yeah, that's kind of how we got started. Talked to my wife and my kids, and we decided to kind of just do it as a family business.
And that was last year, you're saying?
Last year, yep.
And how did the wife was okay to do that?
She was a little skeptical at first. My daughters were really excited, but my wife's always a little skeptical to try and jump into something brand new. But we looked at all the numbers, looked at all the particulars. We saw what the machine could do, and we really decided to just jump into it.
That's good. And so it's been a year now. What have some lessons you learned?
Make sure you have all the stuff that you need before you go to your first trade show. When we went to our first one, we just had bare tables and not anything to display anything on, and we didn't have enough product, and we didn't really focus on our customization. We kind of had stuff out on the table and we let people walk by, but people didn't really understand that we could fully customize all of our work to tailor it to what they wanted. For example, we make these boards here that literally allow us to scan and like an old letter or an old recipe card. This is my wife's grandfather's chocolate chip cookie recipe in his handwriting. So a lot of people don't realize that we have the ability to do that. We can fully customize our work. Anything you can think of, we can make. And so, it's just been, that was one of the challenges. We kind of let a lot of people just walk by not realizing what we do. They just thought we made little trinkets. And so, and then just making sure you're properly supplied when you jump into it, because it can be a lot of work if you're not.
You mean supplies to make the item or supplies to bring to market?
Supplies to bring to market. Our website, when we first started, our website wasn't up. We didn't have our Instagram going. We didn't really have a really good way to take money other than Venmo. We didn't have tablecloths. So it was like, we're looking at ourselves going, oh, this is a little bit of doesn't present a good image. And we wanted to try
from the hips.
Yeah. It was a little bit clunky at first. So, well, we decided to, start building catalogs on our website, and, my one daughter's in charge of marketing. My other daughter's in charge of design. And so we just kind of started segregating things out to give people different tasks to do as part of the business.
When you're talking about people need to be prepared having items, I know some market I go to, you can sell a lot. Some of them can be a bust. And how do you decide how much inventory to bring to a market?
That's really a challenge. It's going to differ depending on what type of market you're doing. Like, for example, this one is spring. That's kind of targeted toward Easter. So we're trying to be really heavy on the Easter items. The real trick is, though, we found is don't make a bunch of inventory that's going to restrict you to a certain event or a certain holiday. For example, we have a lot of Christmas inventory that we're holding right now because we did this show in Christmas time, and some of our stuff sold really well. Some of it didn't. So the stuff that we didn't sell really well, we're now holding as inventory. So you really have to be very careful about how much inventory you want to hold. The nice thing about our business is I can take orders and literally turn them around the next day. So if somebody sees something on our table, they're like, oh, I really want one of those. Do you have one? And if I've only got my display, then I can just take down their information and I can go make it for them right away. Last year, we actually brought the machine with us to the market. And so I was just doing stuff on site. This year, we decided not to do that because it was a little bit of a lot of extra effort, and we were outside, so we didn't want to have the machine outdoors. And so, yeah, it's just, you just got to find that happy medium, that balance of making sure you're targeting the right audience and not overstocking on niche products. That's kind of the trick.
Can you spend more on how you make it with the machine stuff? Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, so we can scan any digital image. It'll go in as a picture file, a JPEG file. We can do PDF files. We can even do Word documents. We have a special software that we use that links to our machine. We scan and render the image. We convert it into a SVG file, and then we can use our software to literally break lines and redraw images and clean things up. Like if there's there was a mess in something that we scanned, we can go clean up individual items. Once that's all ready to go, it's sent to the machine as an SVG file, and the machine just goes through on a platen and burns it. We have to set up all of our power settings and speed settings based on the type of material we're cutting. For example, cutting boards are going to be a little bit different than, say, leather. But that was the real trick, is you kind of have to experiment with the material you're using and get the right settings on it. And once you have it dialed in, it's really pretty easy to do. I can turn a board around pretty quickly if I've got the image.
Pretty good, son. Pretty cool. And can you tell us the range? I don't want a specific number. Can you give me a range on how much, if someone want to start something like this, how much would it cost, a range?
For us, we had probably a bigger initial investment because we didn't want to buy a small machine. Our machine is a large open format machine. So, ours was, a little bit north of $8,000. But that was for everything, like all of our equipment, all of our front end material costs. So that's about what it ran us. You could do it for less expensive if you want to start with like a tabletop laser. They run those a lot. They're a lot less expensive. You can get one in the neighborhood of $1,500, $1,800. And then if you've got a tabletop machine, you can literally just have the material and just cut it as people order it, just right on site. And that's some of the stuff that we do. But our machine is a lot larger.
And I mean, you are playing for the long run, right?
Yeah.
The long haul.
Yeah.
Do you feel like it was worth it? The investment have come back yet or not?
I think so. Yeah. The business pays for itself. So, and we did really well at Christmas. We did really well in the fall last year. So, we're making a little bit of money and it's paying for itself. So, and it brings us together as a family. Everybody has a job. We all do it together. And my daughter's in California and she does all of our marketing. And so it's a great family business.
That's good. I know working with families can be difficult. Is it hard with working with wife and daughters?
No, not usually. We homeschool our kids, so our kids have always been at home with us, and we have good relationships. And sometimes every once in a while we'll kind of have a little bit of disagreement about how a website should look or what material, what product we should bring to market. And but we work it out. We give and take a little bit, and we learn to work it out. So I know that there can be challenges, but we haven't experienced a lot of that.
That's good. And what's the future for the business?
We're hoping to expand a little bit. My one daughter is looking to move back to Utah and getting her own machine. So we may actually buy even a larger format machine than we have now that can do a lot more metal work and different kind of designs. So we're looking forward to doing that in the future.
And just expand and maybe have a little warehouse one day kind of thing?
Yeah, maybe. Right now I got a warehouse at my house, but
the garage have turned to a warehouse.
Yep.
That's good. And I know there's a lot of vendors that struggle with the booth price. And, I feel like the booth price is all over the place. There are entry fees for $20 and in the market, booth fees $150. And how do you decide how to go to? Do you worry about the price at all?
Yes, definitely we do. There's definitely some shows that we've been approached to go do because we get our name out there with vendors and stuff. And some of the shows they're a little pricey to get into. Like somebody wanted us to do FanX, which is in Salt Lake, and I think the booth rental fee like that for a small booth is like $800, and it was just not something that we didn't want to create enough inventory that we wanted to hold in order to make that cost effective. Some of the other home shows that they do are a little bit more expensive, but I like these smaller town feels. We do Shop Fest. We do the boutiques here. So I like to stay local because I want to we want to support local business. So yeah, there is a little bit of factor there. There are definitely some shows that we kind of go, oh, that's a little bit outside of what we want to spend for booth rentals. But the local stuff here has been great.
That's good. And where can people find you?
You can find us on our website, watersmark.com. Make sure you have 2 T's there. And we're also on Facebook and Instagram.
Perfect. Well, thank you for chatting with us. Good luck today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep.
So, I don't have a big burly man helping me. I don't,
Especially with the wind, you need.
Yeah. And you need 40 pounds of weight per leg. And I'm like, that's 160 pounds of weight I'm hauling back and forth with ruptured discs in my back. And I'm just like, no, this is not smart.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to do what's smart rather than, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We see. Well, thank you. Today, I'm with Addi, one of the founder of Lone Star Silver. Addi, tell us your story. How did you create this stuff?
I've learned that jewelry is really expensive.
I bet, especially with this inflation.
Yeah, I think it's $2 a square inch for a piece of silver. Like, just like a little sheet. So I decided that it would be easier for me to make it and to figure out what I wanted. And then I just decided that I wanted to make a business with it. So.
And what was the inspiration behind that?
I think it's just like the Western community of like, I guess, Western wear. Just always like wears turquoise, and I wanted to be a part of it, and I just wanted to like, I guess, fit in would be the right term. And so I made all the jewelry so I could try to fit in, and then I realized I could sell it and make a profit off of it. So, yeah.
And how did you learn this stuff? Did you learn in school or YouTube?
So I met a lady actually at a boutique like this, and I asked her if she would teach me how to do it, and she did. So.
Oh my. That is some entrepreneurship spirit you have here.
Thank you.
This is the West way of life. And how long have you been doing this stuff?
Almost a year.
Almost a year.
Yeah.
And over this last year, how is it going? What was the biggest struggle, would you say?
I think just like finding like the like will to do it. Cause like I'm still in high school. I'm trying to figure out.
We have a kid entrepreneur here.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out how to like balance school and work and silversmithing all together on like one plate. And so this kind of takes the butt end of it.
I bet your parents proud of you. There's no mommy and daddy money. You're gonna get your own money.
That's what I'm hoping. So
that's good. And how does that work? Do you go to school, you come home, do homework, and then do your business?
Yeah. Well, and then I work on top of it as well.
I mean, who are you? Mother Teresa or what?
I don't know.
Maybe. So, what is the future for the business?
Well, I want to get a website started, but I think that's going to happen more towards the summer once I'm done with school. So.
And what is your hope then? After you finish high school, get a website, what is the big hope?
I can have some like big people like realize that I have like a silversmithing brand and just get like the recognition. I think that would be really cool. So.
That's cool. And how many markets do you go to?
This is the second one I've ever done.
It's your second one?
Yeah. So.
What is your takeaway so far?
I think just, you have to definitely market to the people that you're selling to. Like, cause I made rings that were, like more like Western and like turquoise and like had a bunch of like designs. And then like at this market, people want them more simple and like more sleek. So like just figuring out who you're marketing to is, I think, my biggest takeaway from it.
That's good. And I know some market, I've been doing this for about 2 years now. Some market you go to, you can sell a lot of product. Mm-hmm. But some market you go, it could be a completely bust.
Right.
And how do you know how much inventory to bring to a market like this?
I'm actually not for sure. Like I said, this is my second one. I've kind of just guessed from like just making stuff on the side and seeing what I could bring. And so far I've done pretty good. So.
Well, was it expensive to start this business? How much money do you think someone would need?
I don't know. How much do we put into it, do you think?
Put in a lot. So
yeah.
Every time she buys like a plate of silver, it's what? How much a plate of silver? Like $80?
Yeah. So I bought a 3x4 square of silver this past week, and it was $80 for.
So would you say a couple $100, $1,000?
2,000.
We also found stuff on Facebook that we bought, so
it's definitely like try to find what you're looking for and look for it everywhere, and don't resort just to the first thing you find.
And also the quality.
So, yeah, and then that's quality over quantity for sure.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
And Addi, any last word of advice for someone?
Just keep it up. Don't let it get you down and be like, oh, none of my products are selling. next time, just try to figure out what you could do better.
And where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram. It's called Lone Star Silver. That's really it right now. So,
Well, Addi, thank you. And you heard the lady. Go to Lone Star Silver, reach out to an Instagram and support a small business owner. Thank you.
yeah, thank you.